Right, this next one is still on the equations of linear functions, and this time we're looking at our last type of equation, so what we call the general form. And to start off, we're just asked to determine an equation, so any equation of this line shown to the right here. Well, I'm probably going to pick y equals mx plus b because that's the easiest. Look, here's b, that's 8. So I already know that. Y equals something or other x plus 8. I also know that the slope is negative. This line is going down. And so if I draw in my triangle to find the slope, the change in y is negative 8. I went down 8 units. And the change in x is 6. So slope is change in y, which is negative 8 over 6, which I can reduce to negative 4 over 3. So let's just pop that in over here. And there's my equation. So now we're going to look at using this equation to write it in what's called standard form and also general form. So what is standard form? Well, in standard form I have ax plus by equals c. And a, b, and c are all elements of the integers. So if I look at the equation I have up here, I'm just going to rewrite it, neg 4/3 x plus 8. The problem is integers do not include fractions, and I have this negative 4/3. So what I'm going to do first is multiply both sides of the equation by 3. 3y negative 4x plus 24, right? That's 24, that's going to cancel, and then over here 3y. And now I just have to move the x to the other side. Notice that x and y are on this side, so I have 4x plus 3y is 24, and that would be the equation in standard form. In general form, the difference is that now I move the constant to the other side and it equals 0. And the other rule is that the coefficient of x is a whole number. A is an element of the whole numbers. So what does that mean? It has to be a positive number. Whereas b and c, these two can be positive or negative. So if I look at what I have in standard form, 4x plus 3y is 24. The only thing I have to do is move the 24 over. 4x plus 3y minus 24 is 0, and that equation would be in general form. And you would probably say, well, what information does this give me? And I would say not really a lot without manipulating it back into a different form. So, however, the general form is very useful when we are doing some algebra with it. So in the next chapter, when we look at some of the algebra that we're going to be doing, this is why it's useful. So here you have 2 to practice. So why don't you try that? See if you can write these in general form, and then I'll give them to you in a moment. Okay, so if we start with the one on the left, I'm going to multiply by 3, both sides. 3y is negative 7x plus 18. And if I'm going to put them in general form, the rule is that the x coefficient has to be positive. So I'm going to have to move this to this side and this to this side as well. So I'm going to get 7x plus 3y minus 18 is 0. So I hope you got that. Over here, I'm going to multiply both sides by 5, and that's going to cancel with that. And I'm going to multiply this side by 5. So I'm going to get 5y, add 20, is 8 times x minus 7. So 5y plus 20. And now you can see this time I'm going to move these two over here because the x value is already positive. I don't want to move it. So I'm going to go minus 5y minus 20 minus 5y minus 20. This side is 0, 8x minus 5y, and then I'm going to put these two together, minus 76. and there's my equation in general form. So I hope you got that one as well. All right, and now our other skill is to graph a line given its equation in general form. And we have two strategies. So the first strategy, we want to try to rewrite the equation in y equals mx plus b. So to do that, I need to isolate y. So if I look at this equation, 3x plus 4y minus 24 is 0. To isolate this y, I need to move the 3x and the 24 over first. Negative 3x plus 24. And then divide by 4. So I'm going to get the equation y is negative 3/4 x plus 6. And now I just graph that the way I've been graphing them in the past. So start at 6, go down 3 and over 4, down another 3 over 4. Here's my linear function. It looks like that. Okay. The other thing is that this is the form that I can enter into the TI calculator if I have that. I cannot enter this and graph it. I need to have it in the y equals format. Okay, that's strategy 1. Strategy 2. Let's get some space here to show you that one. All right. Get rid of our line. There we go. All right. Strategy 2 is to find the intercepts. So remember, on any linear function, if I just draw a line, boom, there it is. This point is x is some value, say -2 or something, and y is 0. And then up here, x is 0 and y is some value, say +2. So I'm going to use that idea in my equation. I'm going to replace x with 0 and solve, well, what is y? And that's going to give me the coordinates of the point for the y-intercept. So 0 plus 4y minus 24 is 0. 4y is 24. Y is 6. So that gives me a point, the point 0, 6. That's up here. And now I'm going to repeat that calculation, but this time, instead of making x 0, I'm going to make y 0 and see what does this come out as. So 3x plus 4, y is 0, minus 24 is 0. 3x is 24, so x is 8. And that gives me that point. Now I plot that point over here, and I just connect my 2 points with a line. Whoops. But you get the idea. So that's strategy 2. So why don't you try this one and see what you get here. All right, I'm going to try strategy 1 by adding 3y. And then I'm just going to divide everything by 3. So 2/3 x plus 2 is y. There's my equation. Here's 2 up 2 over 3. And you get this line. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Maybe you found these 2 points using strategy 2, the point 0, 2 and the point -3, 0, and then just connected them. So that's the other way. All right, now determine the slope of these 2 lines given their equations. So what I would do here is rewrite them like this. So this might be a point as well. Pause the video, try and do it on your own, and then I'll give you the answers. So here, I'm going to move over 9x and 72 to this side. These are going to cancel. 4y is -9x minus 72. And now I'm going to divide everything by 4. What is that, 18? All right, so the slope is -9 over 4. And this guy, notice how this time the y value is, the y coefficient rather, is negative. I'm going to just add that over here first. So then I get x minus 75 is 5y. because I like to divide by a positive number, and then I don't have to worry about switching signs and so on. So x over 5, remember that that's 1x. So my slope is 1 over 5, x minus, and this turns out to be 15, is y. So this is mx plus b. It's just written backwards. But the slope is